Uh,
It did.
uh, but and I've talked to both of you guys about the. I was crying a couple weeks ago about the wormhole because it's a scary experience. That's completely different than the, and maybe I need to quit talking about it that way, but that's how my consciousness uh, interprets it right now. Falling off of the cliff of time and space, and I feel like if I make one wrong move, I could pop out and unexist in this reality, and it's like I don't want to say it's like the energy of your life flashing before your eyes, but traveling through the dimensions is yeah, it's like once you get to where you're going, it's very beautiful, but I don't stay there for very long, so it's like it is kind of what she's doing, like she pops out and then she's back in it, and it's like you get this little glimpse and then it's like bam, you're right back in it. And it was very similar to my Merkaba experience because it's like there's another wormhole, and I'm like, damn, like I just want to stay here for a minute. And there's something that pulls you back. Like I'm like maybe I'm not supposed to
Fear.
be on that. Maybe I'm not supposed to be in that dimensional level. Maybe it's fear. Maybe I'm being pulled back into my body. Um, because I'm not staying at those dimensional levels for very long. Um,
I just saw that, like, when you were saying that, we can only hold our breath so long underwater because our bodies are only able to do that. But there are other beings that can take in oxygen and go underwater for much, much longer. And I think it's a ability we have to gain the
yeah.
strength to be in another dimension longer and longer, because what she's experienced, what you're talking about, feels very similar to a lot of my first wormhole experiences. And
Mm,
now I can choose when to pop off.
mm,
I can make a right turn and get off and like be in another place and explore it as long as I want.
mm.
But initially, I couldn't. I could be there for like 5 or 6 seconds. So I think it's a matter of like what
Practice.
you can hold.
Mm,
And some of that, I believe, changed when I finished initiation with Isis of the Chaos Temple, when I was eye to eye with the alligator and I accepted death. Because she
oh.
asked me, she's like, so what if you don't get to do the thing in this life that you are called to do, which at the time was about my book, to publish it. And she's like, what if you don't get this out to the world? What if you don't get to teach about the laws of the universe? What if you don't get to do that and finish that calling that you are here for? And I looked at the alligator. I'm like, then I'll fucking come back and do it again. God damn it. I'm not done. I'm an eternal fucking being. And I was mad. I'm like, I'm going to fucking come back. Nothing's going to stop me. And as soon as that happened, the darkness of the obsidian temple and everything just disappeared, and I was in light. It was like facing my biggest fear at the time was to not be able to fulfill that. And after I faced death and said, fuck you, I'll come back and do it anyway, that's when all of this shifted for me. So I was like, death didn't stop me. You know what I mean? Like, you're afraid of popping into another dimension and not coming back here and being lost. What if you didn't give a fuck? What if you're not attached to anything here? What if you don't come back to this dimension? What if it doesn't fucking matter?
What if it doesn't fucking matter? I'm not there yet.
I
Who's gonna
know.
feed my dog?
It's a mass trust fall. And so that is like, for me, my biggest attachments, my parents and my daughter. And that's why the Buddha says that attachment is suffering, because when we're attached to any of those things, and I love my people and my things and my comforts, and I love taking showers, and I love the things that I love in my life,
I love
but
taking
that's not who I
showers.
am. It's not who I
I
am.
wonder if they shower on other planets, other dimensions. I wonder if they have
I
to
hope they have
shower.
warm waterfalls.
Do you think once we get so high vibrational, we stop getting dirty?
Well, no,
Is
really,
that a
because
stupid
that's the
question?
cycle of disintegration, is that anything that is not permanent in a pure love frequency can disintegrate. So we would have to be in a pure love frequency to no longer get dirty. But also, bacteria is part of this like life and homeostasis. So if we're in a third dimensional reality or a fifth dimensional reality, if we're still material, I think that we'll still experience some level of deterioration
Mm.
in
Yeah.
that cycle of creation, because bacteria is part of the getting dirty, but also it manages an ecosystem on our bodies. If you don't have bacteria in your vagina, you're fucked, or
Or
in
in
your
your
gut,
stomach. Yeah. You're
right?
right.
So we have to have these things. Maybe it's a matter of our defining what dirty is
Mm.
I think you're right
instead
about
of coexisting with these other organisms and like being thankful that they're here to regulate us.
They want to send too. The bacteria are like, I want to send you too.
Fuck yeah. They're like, I want to be a liver one day. When I grow up, I'm going to be a pancreas.
That's how I picture them with their little halos around their head.
I think there's
Or
something to
not.
be said about that, though. I love that you just mentioned Halo because what's been coming into my awareness lately is like, I guess, patterns and templates. And like, if you think about the Soul Star chakra and the Earth Star chakra as like kind of like upper and lower levels of like a sphere or an egg shape, and like our energy field is within that, and all else is outside of that. And so if you think of that structure like the even to the level of the atomic structure that we were talking about with the spinning, um, I think there's something to be said about the common threads of these different like realities and dimensions, and like tapping into those common threads is where we can receive information because there's a lot of information in that channel. And so thinking about showers and showers on other levels, like when I'm really intentional about my shower and I'm putting Reiki symbols on the walls and I'm kind of, I'm dancing with light, like I get so many downloads. Are you kidding? And
Always in the shower. It's one of my happiest places.
totally. And so just thinking of it like oh man, I just heard we are the wormhole.
Mm.
Oh, that tracks, actually. I think
That's
it's through our heart.
yeah, totally.
Yeah,
To
portal. It's a
everything
portal for sure.
outside of that sphere, like the place that we are standing it's almost like a tunnel, like a wind tunnel. Kind of in contrast from a different
Mm.
perspective. And so it's
Yeah, that
like I,
makes
I just I just saw like a ring kind of going like from the Earth Star chakra to
Yeah, I see
the
that.
Soul Star chakra,
Like
and
the toral field.
totally. And so this thing that you're experiencing, Trinity, with the wormhole, it's just like you're stepping into another version of yourself. You're going from this wormhole to that wormhole, and then when you get to the top, you're going to come back into this wormhole. And so it's getting us
my
comfortable
mind is like blown.
with that one side to the other. This is how we run the edge because we have to know both the edges and what's in the gap to be able to really do it consciously.
Oh, I got a vision too. This is so cool how we're pinging. This is so cool because you know how the stargates were shut down on our planet because we were, in quarantine. I have chills. Yeah. We create those own stargates within ourselves to be able to get out because we hold a vibrational frequency that allows for that connectivity again because we are cut off from other dimensions and accessibility to other beings only because of our vibrational frequency not matching, which is why our like Earth stargates were shut down because as a whole Earth wasn't at that vibrational frequency. When her heart opens up, she all of her gates open again, and we are microcosms of that. So when we're in our ascension process and we go into that I am presence that you work so closely with, you're going straight into the heart, which is allowing you access to fucking anything because that's creation energy. So that's when you get your godhood, and that's when you can open to any stargate anywhere that you have access to. The fear is that you aren't God and that you can't control where you're going to go and land. To believe that you don't have control to come back to this reality and feed your dog is ludicrous too, because if you have hit the godhood of your heart space, you think, and it is because of the law of mentalism, you choose to come back to this body and this reality to live and experience and fucking play and do all the things, you're God. There's nothing that diminishes that. You don't leave your godhood once you tap into it. You have access to everything.
Do you know one thing
That's what I
I
have to say
noticed?
about that.
One thing I noticed while you were speaking was that when you said you're God, there was nothing in me that went, that's not true. And I
No,
used to
because you
have that.
are.
I used to have that. I used to have that. And it was like very tiny. Like you wouldn't be able to see it. Like I wouldn't make a face, but I could feel the energy shift to the left. Or like when someone says like you're a goddess, and my energy shifts within to the left, and that's when
Like you didn't believe it?
I don't believe it.
Oh, you
And I didn't
believe it
even
now.
flinch.
I know you
Didn't
do.
even flinch.
You're
Um,
like, yeah, right. I am,
and
bitch.
because especially working with the I am, and what you just there's so many things. This conversation is so helpful to me. Like thank you both, um,
That's
because
what sisterhood is.
I feel like it might help me with my fear because I shifted the wormhole to inside my body because and that's what Saint Germain's teaching me about the heart and the heart portal and how once you get into the heart portal, which is like the fifth dimension, um, you actually have access to nine dimensions within your body, and then there's like
Mm-hmm.
three more outside. Um, but that wormhole is actually taking me within my being because your being is, the Fibonacci inward as it's,
You're
and we went through
infinitely
this
inward,
before.
Trinity. I've always told you you're
Um,
infinitely inward.
so I think it helps me to think that I'm just going inside myself. How could I get in trouble? It's myself. It's not like I'm going
You're
out
contained.
and doing something like I'm doing it. I am contained within my own being, which I have sovereignty over. How could I get in trouble for it's me. I can do what I want inside me.
And
Um,
arguably the same is true of outside of you is also all of you. Just throwing that out there.
I'm
But this
I'll
feels more
get there.
comfortable.
I'll get there.
One step at a
I'll
time.
get
That's all we
there.
can do.
I'll get there. Baby steps.
So I have an
How long do you
idea.
think it takes to take baby steps to a infinity?
Infinite amount of responses to that question.
Baby steps to infinity. Um, yeah, that was and the God presence is like so heavy right now. Like my guides are like, we want you to live, sleep, and breathe. We don't need you to listen to anything else. We don't need you to do anything else. This encompasses all of it.
This just
Ooh, I
threw
love that.
into this is why you're afraid. This came up. I just looked over and
Can you pull one?
it's a there may be a past life where you got lost.
There's got to be. I mean, there's so
Oh
many.
no,
There's
my whole left side just lit up when I said that. You got lost galactically.
um, well, and there's a thing that's coming up too. I had an experience probably 2 months ago where I went home. I just because I wanted to do a past life regression, but they're honestly very expensive. So I connected with Dolores Cannon in the etheric realm and
Why
the
not?
higher self of Dolores Cannon, and I was like, "Can you help me do this? I don't know how to do this, but I would really like a session." And she was like, "Yeah, of course," because I was like, "It's like very expensive," and I did try to find a practitioner, um, and she took me right through it. It was amazing, but I had went back to the planet where my soul had incarnated from, which was Arcturus. And I have a parallel version of myself that lives on Arcturus, but I actually was sent from Arcturus here long ago. And when I made it back to Arcturus, everything was different. Everything was different than what I had left, and the beings were different. They had evolved to beings that I didn't recognize because when I had left, it was completely different. And it was very emotional because I was like, I never thought I would be here again. Never thought I would see this place again. And when you guys sent me away, nobody knew that I wasn't going to be back for a long time. Like it felt like an infinite amount of time that I had been gone. But they were like, you were supposed to do a session like this like lifetimes ago, and you were supposed to connect back with this planet. Um, and it's just happening because they're like, that's why this past life regression thing has been on your mind, because you were supposed to connect back in with Arcturus many lifetimes ago. Um, ooh,
I
okay,
pulled that for you, and then you got like a couple of
okay,
angel
Zadkiel.
cards.
Okay, will you send those to me?
Yeah. What's wrong,
I
Crystal?
I'm just receiving right now.
okay, I want to hear what you're saying too. But I'm almost done with the story.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
um, but yeah, and basically they just so there's a part of my being that I left there, and I was like, wait, all of me's gonna come back to like Earth, right? Because like I have to bring all of me back to Earth. Like I just leave a part of me here, and they're like, no, like you will still go back, but there's an essence part of you that will stay on this planet, so that you're connected with Arcturus. And it was basically kind of like they plugged me in, but they plugged me into like the grid, and they uploaded all this information about Earth to Arcturus, and that was basically the goal. That was basically why I came long time ago. Um, but what neither of these species understood was how it was to actually be human, and that what I was supposed to learn would take me so many lifetimes.
Oh,
Um,
it sucks.
like so many lifetimes. Um, but yeah, and I think there was a betrayal energy, not betrayal, but like abandonment. Like
Abandonment.
you guys sent
Yeah,
me and
Jinx.
you knew I wasn't gonna come back, and they're like, we didn't know. Like we didn't like I think sometimes we think these higher beings know everything, but their species actually has to incarnate on Earth to learn.
To
Um,
understand that, yeah.
they don't know what, which is why sometimes when they're interacting with us, like it can hurt. Like I've had higher dimensional beings, and I'm like, your frequency is actually so high, it's actually physically hurting me.
The avians really kicked my
So
ass when they came
yeah,
in.
like I'm like, you guys have to come in just with the light codes, like in my head. Like I'm like, your physical presence actually scares the shit out of me.
Cause
But
ow!
yeah, like it's just like, and it's always like a loving frequency, but it's like, it's just so
Turned
high
up
that
too
it
high. It's too
feels
high.
like, feels like lava. Like I'm like, you guys are just so high. Um, but
I was pissed at my Arcturus. I was screaming at Arcturus in my fucking backyard when I got that Merkaba. Like when I got the video of the Merkaba in the sky in real time that I shared at that one meeting, I grief just flew into me so hard. I was on the ground. I was screaming for 2 hours. I wanted to die. I wanted to leave planet because all of it flooded in of
yeah,
that abandonment. And it was Arcturus. I was fucking yelling at Arcturus.
yeah, I'm like, you sent me away. They're like, you
You
wanted to
motherfucker!
go.
No, I was like, you motherfuckers!
Yeah, and they're like you wanted to, and then I had to settle into that, like you wanted to go, and that I love doing that. And they're like, think about your personality, like the insatiable love of learning. Like you are, it's not your human being, that's your soul being. You are an
It's so me too.
academic. So they're like, this is not the first star system you've done this in. Like you send yourself because you want to learn about these star systems. Like,
And you're like, yeah,
just
that tracks.
the betrayal comes in because you feel like you're cut off from the love of that planet, and you feel like like they sent you and they abandoned you. Like you wanted to go.
Totally what it feels like, though.
Um,
But we agreed to it, but we don't remember the full agreement of that. Like,
that was
I
gonna
know
be
I did.
forever, forever and ever and
I
ever.
know I did, but I didn't realize it would be as painful as it is to be here and to be so separated. Because it is, in essence, hell. To be separated from your own source light or your perception of source light is what the definition of hell is.
Mhm.
To be far away from that.
Yeah.
So it does absolutely feel like it's an abandonment, but it's just a vibrational frequency that we have to claw our way back to the surface of again.
Crystal, I'm interested to hear the pings that you got. I know you made a and I really appreciate because I can feel the space that you're holding right now. Because that story, actually telling the story about Arcturus, usually makes me pretty emotional, which didn't happen, which is nice because I'm usually because that feeling comes in that I was at home.
Mhm.
I probably I'm not crying anymore because there is a part of me that is there still and I can feel it. Or
Not only
maybe there's a
that,
part of Arcturus that is back in me. I'm not sure.
I think it's both. And what you're experiencing right now is bridging the gap with yourself and
Yeah.
learning what that means and how to overcome the programming that has been so densely packed here. Like that's what we're all here to do, just in our own ways. But I'm definitely feeling I'm feeling all the feels with all of this, and like I don't know that I could even coherently put it into
Okay,
words,
it's okay.
but
Mind
um,
fuck.
but I love it. So here's what I think we can try if you guys are open to it. Um, the astral work that I've been doing and the missions that I've been called to have been like they're always interesting, but they've been especially interesting lately. And it's been about rebuilding the golden grids around Gaia. I think it's part of this reopening of the Stargate project, if you will. And so I'd love to, as a group, deepen into that. And
Okay.
I love what we when we talked about the reawakening the planet, reawakening the tree of life. There was one mission in particular that we called in assist. Well, we didn't necessarily call it in. They came forward. They were like, "We want to help you with this," and it was several different realms of beings. And what we saw was like a golden tree of life. Like the heart started back up again. And so I can't get that out of my mind. I've been thinking about it everywhere I go, and we touched on that just a couple minutes ago. And so I'd love to just breathe into that brand new heartbeat
Okay.
of the golden consciousness.
Hmm. Do we want to go into like a do we want to go into like a journey or what are we doing? I'm gonna share some music
Yeah, however that feels good.
Yeah,
I'm just
baby.
feeling the
because I
space.
know how to share things now.
Yeah, do it.
Mm-hmm.
I am a
Yeah,
sharing
you
ass
do.
bitch.
Sharing ass bitch. That's what I think of when I think of Trinity. I think sharing ass bitch.
God, we need t-shirts. Okay, and on the back, it's gonna have a hashtag sharing is caring.
Sharing ass bitch. Yeah. Oh, yeah, baby.
I share the fuck out of everything.
Hold on,
Do we have a preference
does
for
that mean
sound?
no, no, whatever feels good for you. I just heard didgeridoo.
Oh, that's so funny because I actually was working with didgeridoo
I
yesterday.
literally just thought didgeridoo at the exact
I
same
love
time.
it.
It's
So
because
let's just,
it's such a multidimensional uh tool. Like that's literally what it's for.
that's better.
Is it better?
But I'm echoing.
You're echoing? Oh, it's because I turned off echo cancellation. Why did I do that? Okay, let me see. I know how to do
No,
it. How's that?
we're reverberating through all time and space. We want to be able to
Yeah,
hear
that's all.
that the
It's
far
fine.
reaches,
Did it work?
the lost
I
part.
can't hear the echo anymore. That's
Okay,
so funny.
I turned on echo cancellation.
Okay.
Did anything change? I just turned on another setting. Did anything change for you guys?
Sounds good.
It just hiccuped for a second.
Okay, is that too loud? It's fine. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna drop in. So I'm just gonna visualize, yeah, that golden, it's like a Kabbalah tree. And I'm just gonna center in my heart space.
Peter.
Is that a Kabbalah? That word's coming in. I don't know much about the Kabbalah, but I know you do, Audrey. But that word is
It's
coming
the
in.
crown.
Oh, is it really? Okay. Yeah, Keter, Keter.
Yep, that's the crown.
All right, I guess there's some energy coming in through the crown right now. I'm getting this feeling of many arms. Like I have a lot of arms.
I know what that is.
Like energetic. They're kind of like tendrils that are like uncurling.
I see golden filaments that are turning into like a braided cord that are assembling in a central pillar.
Crystal, I feel like this also has to do with the image in your background. The didgeridoo is very intentional, right, in this experience because of the Aboriginal energies that are coming in, as well as the braiding energies. There's like a frequency weaving information that's coming in about the reality and how the understanding of, let's just say, reality weaving. When you understand your reality in a certain way, you can weave essentially aspects of what you want right into the grid, or I mean, what it's looking like is weaving it right into the air, which is obviously, there's grids all within the air,
I see all the indigenous women over time and space weaving together to create a beautiful, colorful tapestry over the earth. It used to be beige, now it's color.
yeah, I'm feeling this energy over my shoulder blades, and it's like placing like a cloak. So if you could just feel this energy kind of brush up against like your back and your shoulders, it's kind of like laying like a cloak of this garment, this woven tapestry, to be, I don't know if it's to be absorbed or what, but I'm just feeling it just lay on my shoulders. I'm also hearing Akashic records.
It's the original blueprint of the Akashic records that's been untampered with, that's being cloaked over us in its origin of love vibration.
we're being asked now to intentionally anchor this into the iron, saying it iron crystal, so like a crystal, but it's made of iron in the middle of Gaia, and this is the within the planet. So you can think of the sun and moon and stars without our planet. So that is all encompassed within the planet, within the center. And this is a realm. So anchoring down into that Earth star. So these codes will basically weave right through the DNA, and they kind of braid right into the DNA, this garment. And it's actually going to braid all the way down that cord into Gaia. So these are energies that it was necessary for human grounding. There's something about the human vessel that these codes needed to come through, but these are codes that are necessary right now for inner Earth. I was not expecting that. They're saying just take a deep breath and breathe those codes with your intention into the Earth star.
I'm seeing embroidery like we're stitching it into it.
Saying it's like a slow drip. So if you connect with this information or this cloak, it will give you steady information in like bite-sized pieces, but on a consistent level. They said have fun with it, like make your cloak whatever color you want and make sure that you like put it on like a jacket so that it becomes real to you, feels real to you. Okay, this is I wasn't sure who I was channeling, but it is the Star Grandmother.
Master Weavers.
Yeah. I'm picturing the Kabbalah tree, and I'm not really sure what the middle part is, or the solar.
The
If there's
dot.
a solar plexus
Heart
part,
chakra.
it's okay.
There, the heart is through the dot. It's a hidden realm that allows you access to everything. So they don't often put it on the tree, but it is
Okay.
in the heart space.
Okay, then maybe I'm seeing it's yellow. Maybe I'm seeing that. Is there a solar plexus part of the Kabbalah? It's like a
There,
yellow
there,
in the
there is
middle.
a center point, but
Okay.
I don't remember the name of it right now.
Okay, yeah, it's yeah, they're saying to imagine the sun. Yeah, the sun in the middle of the tree of life, and then to walk into that. It's like a consuming type flame, but it's not hot, but it is consuming. They're saying, oh, they're teaching me about the sun. Like when you tune your frequency to the sun, you could walk right into it. Like it's not hot. The heat comes from the difference in vibration. So basically, like, yeah, they're saying walk. They're literally saying walk into the sun. Okay. And when you cross this threshold, feel your grid expand to into the tree. This is emerging. There's there's a liquid light that's coming through the blood. This is an activation that's happening. But there is a consent that's needed. So just right, it's like internally or externally, just give consent for this. Yeah, it's like liquid light geometry. It's like the sun streaming through your veins. They're saying, oh yeah, that makes sense. The interaction between higher frequency beings should be more comfortable now once this calibration settles. And they recommend laying out in the sun to the word that came in was bake, to bake this in. Go bake out in the sun to bake this in. It's funny. So we're going to walk out. We're going to walk out of the portal. For some reason, we're walking backwards. I'm not really sure why. Yeah, there's something about the illumination of the face as we walk out. So it's like they're just asking not to turn your back on the portal, but to walk out backwards. And that when we connect to the warmth of the sun, that we are connecting to this same energy, the energy of the tree of life, the Kabbalah, all of the wisdom within that tree is within the rays of the sun. And that is all. Opening up the crown to receive the last bit of information. It's going to be an energetic sealing of this information within the crown chakra.
It's done. Thank you, Trinity.
What the? You guys, I did not think that was gonna come through. I was not expecting that.
Freaking awesome.
So funny. Maybe we should do this more often. Sometimes I am just blown away by the things that come through.
Seriously, though.
It makes sense why I'm wearing this yellow today. I'm telling me I don't get enough sun. Oh my gosh.
It's the Tifareth is the name of the central point. It's associated with Archangel Michael.
What is the Sephirah of Yesod? Because that comes to me too, and I don't know anything about the Kabbalah, and the Sephirah, just the words come to me all the time, and I know that I should look into them, but I don't.
No, you don't.
So
I know all of them are just the spots. They're the points. So that's what a Sephirah is. And Yesod it's basically it's your sacral chakra, it's your reproductive system, it's your womb.
Okay, that makes sense because
doesn't it?
This galactic baby calibration.
The blue kid, yeah.
Yeah, and okay, that makes. So I'm like, what is it about Yesod? So I'm like, I have all these names of the Kabbalah, but I don't really know. I probably should.
And it's actually right at the womb. It's near pelvis.
I should probably start looking into the Kabbalah because
you will when you're supposed to.
Yeah.
I have some great resources if you're interested.
Yeah, I know you do. You are a great resource. Crystal, that's helping me so much. That obsidian. That's obsidian. Yeah, my third eye is like reeling a little bit right now. I've never connected to the star grandmothers.
You haven't?
In a way, not in a way that I was bringing them through. No.
Well, they're actually the indigenous grandmothers because they taught the indigenous all their practices, and we're about to go connect with the Hopi. I got chills everywhere.
Yeah,
we're going to connect with the Hopi in Sedona, and the Kogi are coming to me, and I'm remembering a past life as a Kogi, and so...
Kogi vamos! Yeah!
Shit's getting real up in here.
The Kogi are so advanced, they're like, pretty soon we'll have you translocating like that. And they laugh. You know what's so funny? They laugh because they'll talk to me, the Kogi, in their language, and I'm like, I don't understand what you're saying. Like, I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know that language. And then they start speaking English, and they can't stop laughing because our English language is so silly to them. So like they're teaching me,
isn't it?
They're teaching me about stuff like about dreams, and they're like, it's so funny because they're so funny. They're cracking up because they're speaking in this language that they think is so silly.
Well,
Yeah, just
they're
next level.
connected to their inner child fully,
Yeah,
so
it
like
is
there's no
full.
separation.
Like they're like these very indigenous. They have like the wrinkles, and they have the like they look like they've lived forever, but they're like so young.
You guys, I
Yeah.
have to tell you the craziest thing about the Kogi because they've come into my field for the past 2 years, but I haven't connected. And there's this documentary I was called to start watching like 2 days ago. Because my other close friend Mariana, they're coming to her and we're supposed to do some work. But when I got my first Lemurian past life come in over when I was driving to Salt Lake, over like at least the last 3 hours of my drive to Salt Lake of 5 hours was all downloading this lifetime from Lemuria. And I had a teacher that came to me because I was like a 16th generation hybrid trying to like perfect the psychic skill to connect to the higher realms, but it was not coherent with my physical vessel yet. And it caused me to have seizures. And I was going to die. Like I was actually going to die. So my tribe called in assistance from a reptilian old grandmother, and she was like she made me eat cocoa leaves, like chew on cocoa leaves. She made me chew on them, and she made me choke down. I saw myself.
Yeah, it
She was
sounds
shoving it in my
gross.
mouth. She was making me choke down coconut cream, like cream. So it was like the cocoa plant and this fat, which was helping me make new neural pathways in my brain so that I wouldn't react in the same. And literally, when I awakened, I just ate olive oil and salmon. I had just gotten on Adderall. And so I was getting this dopamine and I was getting the fat and I was creating all these new neural pathways. But I didn't know the Kogi actually have a special satchel around their waist where they keep cocoa leaves that they chew on all day. That essentially is raising their vibrational frequency
What
in
I
their
just heard was
dopamine.
I just heard psychoactive. There's something that's psychoactive or psychoactive. It's what
I
it's saying.
think my
There's
teacher
a
was also a Kogi reptilian. I'm just saying.
okay.
I think
Yeah, there's a what's coming because the chem brain is coming in. They're saying it's a phytochemical, so it's a chemical it's produced. I mean, by the sun, the sun's reaction with the plants. But yeah, there's a phytochemical that's
what's a
psychoactive
phytochemical?
in the cocoa. That's cool. I'm like I'm gonna Google that because this is just coming in now.
Phytochemical?
It's called a phytochemical. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I'll have to look it up
Oh, it's a
or
thing.
what that is. Did
I'll
something come
tell
up?
you what it is. Yeah,
Okay, yeah. I'm like I don't know what that
it
is.
literally came up.
Cool.
It's PHYTO, phyto.
Phyto. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Chemical compounds produced by plants, generally to help resist fungi, bacteria, and plant virus infections, and also consumption by insects and other animals. The name comes from the Greek phyton. Some phytochemicals have been used as poison and other traditional medicine. Let's see. History of uses. Let's see. It's been used for poison or anti-inflammatory, pain relieving. It's actually extracted in the bark of the white willow tree, which I have tincturing right now, just so you know.
Cool.
And it is in aspirin.
These are uses. The use that the phyto why this is coming in is because there's something about phytochemicals that and the Kogi don't call them phytochemicals, they call them something else.
Of course not.
Like Great Spirit or something like that. But especially like sometimes the Hopi will teach me things and then I'll try to Google more and they're like, there's a reason why we have to come through this realm to teach you. Like you can't
Because you
find
don't
it
know.
on Google. Like or
It's
we would
high
just
in squash and pumpkins.
they're like, we would direct you to Google if it was in Google, like, because that's much easier.
That's
Like, we
fair.
just give you
That's
intuition and
fair.
you go to Google. That's so much easier for us. Because I do that with Saint Germain too, and I'll try to find stuff about what he says, and he's like, if you could find it somewhere else, I wouldn't be here because that would be a much easier expenditure of energy if I could just direct you to it.
Oh,
I feel
they're high
sometimes I'm
in
trying to do
cannabis.
that. They're what?
There's a lot of this in nicotine and cannabis.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And in DMT.
Oh, okay.
So it was connecting to the higher realms. I have chills everywhere. This is exactly so they were never disconnected. They were basically dosing to be in this dense realm. They were dosing all day long to stay connected. And their satchels they kept them in were woven by the women in their tribe.
You know what somebody just told me to I went to a Reiki, because I usually don't get Reiki sessions, which I need to get more of because I give them so often. But I just got a Reiki session, and the guy was like, you should get one of these. And it was like his little medicine pouch. And I was like, I feel like that's like the third time that has come up. I probably should.
A medicine pouch?
Yeah, I probably should get one of those. But I have to hop off it's going to be 1:15 here because I have to get ready for work.
Okay.
But I just want to hear from both of you guys really quickly if there was anything that popped in about the experience that we just had. Anything that you guys felt or saw. There's any pieces that we need to continue to put together, or I'm not sure.
Well, first of all, I have walked into the sun before, so that felt very resonant and true for me. I've walked into it. It's like just a portal to, it's a portal to Melchizedek. I used to meet him there to go into the Akash in that like
that makes sense.
Perfect frequency. He would walk me through, and it looks very much like Greece inside for me, but people aren't walking; they're hovering above the ground and moving in robes, and all different kinds of beings, not just people, but the light is so bright it's consuming, but it doesn't hurt. And it feels very peaceful, and the center of like it feels like the brain or of everything, or at least the closest brain I have access to, because it is a library as well, so that makes sense. And to go into the library is infinite, and it's connected to everything. And I'm seeing right now that actually, because I don't know, you guys saw, I know Crystal saw, but Osho made me make a new image of him that was reflective of what he looks like right now, which is this plasmic mycelium that's in the ethers that he's connecting to in terms of like a greater brain organism of the universe is made out of plasma light, which is at a higher frequency of the heart. And that heart frequency connects us to everything in a non-distorted way. And what Crystal and I had done on
I watched it.
Honest Aliens was about like
video.
Oh cool, there had been an infiltration of this black mold on this string, and so what we were weaving in today also was not just plasma, but it was golden. And so that was anchoring into the earth through that plasma from the crown, the keter that was coming in. It was like weaving the above and below together in the material.
Make sense? Does this?
Yeah, that does completely.
This is the part
that looks actually just like something I have in this book. I always am like, I have a book for that.
This is just an image that I made on AI, and I use it all the time, and I don't know why. Like I don't.
I'll show you. There's an image in this book that looks just like this.
Okay.
And I was going to tell you needed this book for the information, by the way.
Okay.
So the chapter in here that is all about, oh shit. I knew the picture, but I didn't know what chapter it was. Guess what the chapter is? It says 15 Rosicrucian and Kabbalistic diagrams.
Lord have mercy.
Lord have mercy. So it reminds me of a variety of these diagrams that exist. So
Oh
in
wow.
here,
Oh yeah, that one. Oh wow, the one in the top.
right?
Whoa,
So
yeah.
there's all these diagrams that are in this book that are similar. Sorry,
My
Crystal.
science
Oh,
brain
you're
is
no,
like
you're
going off. My science brain is like,
good.
Yeah, when you get your hands on this, and also the Universal One
I have the
has,
Universal one actually. I have but it's an audiobook. I don't have the
oh, that
physical
is
book.
of no help. That is,
I
the
know.
audio is of no help
But
because,
I get through the audiobook so much faster because I can just pop my headphones in and go to the grocery store.
but it's not fucking helpful
I know.
because you don't get the visual. And I was
Yeah.
actually in line at the coffee shop yesterday where these women behind me, they were talking about how Audible versus printing it out and that they need to have visual stimuli sometimes, but they were both like uh stewardesses or whatever for the airline, and so they couldn't pack a bunch of books. And so I was like, well, you can always like do one and the other and then reference it later. But this particular image, as soon as I know you have to leave, but this, bro, this. This is the entire periodic table by frequency and octave,
That's the
and
same thing.
that's
This
what
is the
that
same
looks
thing.
like to me.
It's the
Yeah.
same thing.
I will send this to the chat.
Oh. Yeah, I made this when I made the quantum chemistry images, and I was like, that's not anything like I asked. But it generated, and I was like, I must keep it. And now I really like it, but I wasn't really sure why.
Well, when you look at it more closely, when you because I'm sending it now, but when you look at it more closely, the information that's in here is insane.
Okay.
It goes so deep in terms of like what element associates with what frequency in positive or negative polarity and where it lands on the scale. And you need all of the pictures in here to be able to differentiate. Like just having access to what it's talking about in reference. Like that's the eye of the storm. That's the sweet spot. That's the center. That's everything. So
It's a
as you
wormhole.
hear it, you're getting only a portion of it from not being able to like look at how things equalize and even how things end up forming in spheres. And look at this tesseract shit.
Oh,
Oh
cool.
my God, I need that one for
Tesseract.
sure.
Cool. Have you
If
guys
you're
seen the? Have you? Wait, I'm gonna share one more thing with you guys, and then I really do have to go because I have to get ready for my job. Okay. Can you guys see my screen? No.
No, you haven't shared it.
Okay. Let me go to share my screen. Okay. Why is every time it's like I'm new at this? Okay. There is a video, and it's so activating. See if I can find it. Somebody shared it on Instagram, but I just want to see if I can find it. I don't know if... Oh, darn, I don't see it. Oh, darn. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it. This might
That's
work.
all right. You could just send it to
Once
us.
everything's perfectly organized, I'll start working on my
But yeah, there was
thesis.
this... It was a perfect tesseract. It was a physicist that shared it. I don't think this is not what I want. That's
Man, I love looking at the tesseract. Because when I saw Interstellar for the first time, I just choke sobbed also. That was the second time I responded that way to a movie.
Cubes in higher dimensions. Let's see if this works.
book yet.
Oh, that's cool.
It just looks so familiar to me. And I keep being told that I have a horrible sense of direction. I always have, and it's because I'm supposed to be able to get where I'm going with my thoughts. And it's never really like
Stop, you guys, look
computed to
at
be here.
that.
It's just wild.
That's so cool.
I feel like I'm inside it most of the time.
Can you feel your brains calibrating right now?
Yeah. Can you share that link too?
Yeah.
Because I
I've
want
never
to
seen
save
this
it.
before. This was not the one I meant to share.
Well, this is the one you were supposed to share.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
The perfection.
Yeah, baby. If we think of constellations, though, the points that we see are these points of these geometric shapes. So we're just seeing it in a different dimensional frequency, but they are multidimensional beings.
Blowing my mind right now. Are you kidding me?
But they're constellations, right? Like you
Yeah,
can see,
totally.
Dude, this is
but
using
they're just
Python.
different dimensions.
This is like high-level mathematical coding right
You
here.
say they're
That's
using
amazing.
Python.
They're using Python, yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible.
That's so cool.
Okay, I will share this to
You
you
guys,
guys.
it's like the secrets of the universe, like right here.
I love
Whoa,
it.
that was crazy.